Hey everyone, my name is Ronak, back with another video, and in this video we will actually learn how to use Python with Firebase. So Firebase is one of the most commonly used databases. It is an online database over the cloud, and what you can do is it is really efficient and it has multiple features. So Google developers have developed it. So today I will show you how to use this database using your Python language. So the only prerequisites you will need is basic programming of Python, and later on what I will do is I am going to create a website and deploy this service as an API. Okay, so let's get started. So go to the firebase.google.com. Obviously you will need a Google account. Okay, if you have Google account you can really use this thing. So just go to the firebase.google.com, and once you get over there, just go to the console. Right after you go to the console, what you can do is you can add a project. Okay, so add a project, and now give some name you want. So I will say test. Okay, that's it, that's the name of my project. And then I will just say I'll accept all the terms and conditions and then create project. So what we can do is Python is actually really good to get along with the Firebase. Okay, and it says your new project is ready. Now continue, and this is my project. So Firebase offers a lot of functionalities. It offers you authentication, a real-time database. Okay, so you can update the values and you can see them changing in the real time. There is also storage, and they have newly introduced the ML kit, the machine learning kit. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just cover these features one by one. Okay, in this tutorial you will learn the authentication, that's it. Okay, I'll just cover the authentication, then later on we'll definitely see the RTDT, the real-time database, and I will be making this tutorial in the near future. After that I will also make a tutorial for storage, don't worry. So how to get started? So in the Python we can write the Python scripts, but before that you will need a package, a module. Okay, so say pip install Firebase, Pyrebase, that is the name of the module, and just install this thing. And I have already installed it, so it is going to say requirement already satisfied. Okay, yeah, it says requirement already satisfied. So just install this thing, and now let's get started. So first of all, let me say import Firebase. Okay, and after that what you will need to do is just click on this icon. Okay, this is used for the JavaScript, but we will actually need this for the Python. And then what you will have to do is say config, and now here you will paste these details. This is supposed to be extremely confidential. Okay, so never actually disclose this in front of anyone, because it is going to have all of your data. Okay, and now what you will have to do is just double quote all the thing. Okay, and these details are confidential, just keep that in mind. Then I'll say Firebase, which is the name of my variable, and then say Firebase dot initialize underscore app config. Once you are done with this, you can just dive in deeper. And now what I will do is, after doing this, so we are actually going to see the authentication in this tutorial. So what I will do is I'll make a variable named auth. Okay, and then I'll say Firebase dot auth. See, it is really easy. Okay, and like MongoDB or MySQL, you might have seen my tutorials, I don't know, but if you have seen, you might have observed that it is so much complicated to make a cursor and to create a connection, and then you will use the SQL or MongoDB commands to insert the thing. but here it is only one liners. Okay, this is a web API. Okay, Firebase provides the SDK functionalities with which you can just type a single line of code and your required function is going to be executed. So what you will do is, now we will actually learn a lot of functions, because the Firebase actually has a lot of functions. Okay, so it actually gives us the functionality to sign in with the Google. Okay, not Google I would say actually, but with your email. Okay, with your email ID and password, and it is actually really great. Okay, Firebase gives you that functionality, and what you can do is we can use we can create the username, we can sign in with it, we can also reset the password, we can also send an verification email, you can also get the information. So there are actually a lot of things, just keep that in mind. So what we will do is, I will just begin with creating the Imminent password. Okay, that is going to be the primary thing. So what you can do is, you can say, let's say user. Okay, user is equal to, and then I'll say auth dot, and then create, and then over here it takes two arguments, email and password. Now you will have to enter the email and password. So I'll just create an input, and then I'll say please enter your email. Let me just get this onto the new line. There we have it. And now it is going to ask you for the email and password, and then it is going to sign like it is going to create the user into the Firebase Authentication Center, and then you will be able to sign in next time with that username. Alright. And now let me show you one more functionality. So what we can do is, you can say let us just get the account information. Okay, the account information. So I'll say auth dot get get account info. Okay, and now inside this say user ID token. ID token is the one with which you create a sign in. I think the this actually generated during sign in, but let us just check this. Now let me just run this thing. It says enter your email. Now this thing is actually not going to work. I'll show you why. So let me just enter an email. This is my secondary email, and now it is going to ask you to create a password. Okay, and now it says operation not allowed. I told you it is going to generate an error. Now let us just actually solve the error. So whenever you create a project, just go to the authentication and go to the sign in method, and you can see email and password over here, which is disabled. Okay, so it is not going to enable to sign in to the users. Now I will just say save. Just enable this thing, it should be enabled, then only you can create the users. And it says enter email. I'm entering my email. Now it says enter a password, and this is my password. Yeah, it has been done. So it has actually created. Now if I go to the users, you can see it over here. So it actually generates like it hashes the password. Okay, but it has the email saved, and now whenever next time you sign in, you will need the email. Now what I will do is, I'll just comment this out, and now I'll show you how to sign in. So and then what we can do is say sign in with email and password. Okay, these all are the Firebase methods. Okay, just don't think that you might get confused, okay, what I'm typing, okay, or whatnot. But these are the functions of that library Firebase, which is actually going to act as an module to enter the data into the Firebase. And now it is actually also going to retrieve, now once you sign in with your email, it is going to retrieve the user token. Now I'll just run this code and I'll purposely insert wrong credentials, and let's see what we get. It says please enter your email. Now it says enter a password, and let me just enter my wrong password. It is invalid password. Okay, so it actually has an inbuilt exception handling. Okay, like if you enter the wrong credentials, it is going to raise an error. Now let me run the app again, and now yeah, we have it, and this is my password. We are logged in. Okay, we are logged in, and now what I will do is we can actually print this, okay, to get the user account information. I'm running the app again. Enter the email, the password, and it is actually printing my account information, okay, the account with which you have logged in. So it says the email is this, and the password has been hashed. Okay, so this is the general I'm sorry, so this is the general thing associated with the Firebase. Okay, but this is not much as exciting as it should be. Okay, so now let us actually create a website. Okay, I'll be creating the website using the Flask, and yeah, now let me show you two more functions. Actually there are a lot of functions. Then we will actually dive into making the API, deploying our own API of the Flask. So I have actually printed this thing. Now what we can do is, along with signing in, we can send a password reset to the email. Okay, there is also email verification. I'll show you both the options. Now let me create the account. I might have messed up something. Let's see. Never mind. So you can actually try it out by yourself. So once you sign in, then we want to say auth dot send email underscore verification, and then user, and then I'll say ID token. Now it is going to send a verification email to the email with which you have signed in. So you can actually use this when someone have to verify their email. After you might be having some of this website XYZ, and some users are logged in, and you just want to verify their email, that is it authentic or not. Now let's run this thing. It says please enter email, and then it is going to ask for the password. It has been done. Now let me just check my email. Yeah, I have it. Okay, so it says test, which is the name of the project ID, and now it says follow this link to verify your email. And whenever I click on this link, and once you click on the link, it says your email has been verified. Okay, and now let me show you one more thing. You see, when I printed the information over here, okay, it said where it is. Just check. Yeah, we had their email verified and it said false. Now this time it is going to say the email has been verified. Okay. Now let me just get rid of this thing, and let me make the token once again. And whenever I sign in, it says email verified is equal to true. Okay, so we verified the email, and now one more functionality associated with this is the resetting the password. Okay, resetting the password of your account. Now you might have forgotten the password. So what you can do is you can send It says invalid password because I have entered the wrong password. Yeah, it has been done. Now let me just check my email. Yeah, we have it. It says reset your password. Now whenever I go on to this link, it's going to say new password. Now let me just enter a new password. Okay, and remember it should be 6 digits. And then I'll just say save. And it says you can now sign in with your new password. We have it. Okay, so these are the basic functionalities of the Firebase that you can do. Now let us actually get this everything into a really good form. Okay? And let us make a website. Now in order to do that, you will have to say from Flask import all, then app. So if you don't know Flask, you are not familiar with the Flask, just keep that in mind. I have imported this thing, I have assigned this and initialized into the app, and then I have said app.route. Route is the slash, okay, and it has methods get and post, and then there is a basic function which will return hi, and this is the entry point. Now let me just run this thing, and now it is going to run on the server, okay, colon 5000 localhost, and now it says hi. Okay. Now let us actually change the code, and now what I'm going to need over here is a template, okay, and templates. So templates is going to have my HTML files, and here I'll just say new.html, and now let me make a HTML file, okay, let me get you sorted with, and now let me just make a basic skeleton, okay, and now I will say action is equal to slash, and then method is equal to post. Okay, so I am going to post in the form, and the action is going to be slash, and this slash it is going to take the route. Okay, just keep that in mind. And now let me just get rid of this, and now in my function I will say if method I'm sorry if request dot method is equal to post, I want to do something. So if my method is post, some action will be performed. Okay, so what we can do is we can say email is equal to request dot form and name, and password is equal to request dot form pass. Okay, so what I've actually done is I am passing these names. Okay, so pass the name is going to be stored into the email variable, and the pass is going to be stored into the password variable of the Python. And now what I can do is say yeah, I'll just say now auth dot sign in and email and password my variables. Okay, and now I will have to return something. So if my login is successful, I'm going to say login is successful. Okay, and now let us actually run this thing. And now the issue with the Flask is continuously you will have to create a new server and go again and again and again and again. So I've got this sorted out. It is tedious actually. I'm actually running now in my using a Node.js server, NodeMon. So NodeMon continuously allows you to run your code. Okay, and now I'll say like this. So this is the statement you can use. So if you want to install the NodeMon, what you will have to do is first of all install Node.js and then say npm install NodeMon. So NodeMon is a library that is going to run your it is actually going to keep running your server. Okay, you don't have to interrupt the server and start it once again when you make the changes in the Python file. And my server has been started. Now if I go onto my localhost colon 5000, yeah, I forgot. uh, render template, okay, and it is going to say new.html. So the action is going to be here, and now whenever I sign in, so I will say no, okay, whenever I sign in, it is going to say login successful. See, it automatically changes just when I save, so you don't have to kill your server every time. And now this was my email, okay, and password, and it is login successful. Now if I enter a wrong password, it is going to crash, okay. So for this we actually need to generate a statement, okay. So it is going to be good, because if the server crashes, and assume that someone is using your application, I'm sorry, your website, he or she will be really disappointed and don't know what this really is. So we can actually get this sorted. So what I will do is, I'll post all of this into a try catch block, okay. So first of all I'll say try, and then I'll say auth dot, okay. So it is going to try, and now I'll say I'm sorry, it says accept, okay. So it is going to raise an exception. So whenever if I try and it goes successful, I'll just say return, and then I'll say login successful, and if it doesn't, I'll say I'm sorry, return, and again unsuccessful, or we can just say please check your credentials. Alright, now let me just go to my website once again. I'm entering a wrong password, okay, and it is going to say please check your credentials. And now here also we can make some changes. Now I'm actually going to keep improving this until we get to a good point, where we can view the page, and yeah, it is pretty much presentable. So what we can do is, here we can say unsuccessful, okay. So this is just a variable, okay. Unsuccessful, it is a string, and I'll say please check your credentials, okay. See, if you're not familiar with the Flask, just leave this thing, because whatever you have learned in the first half, okay, where I was executing the Python script, you have already got the Firebase, because some people might actually use the GUI, the tkinter pyqt for their Firebase, okay. If you want to design a website, you just stick with this one, okay, and you definitely learn the Flask, or you can learn the Django and try to apply this into the Django, okay. Now here I will say render template, and then okay, so yeah, we will actually render the template, and now I will say new.html over here, and I'm making us, which will say unsuccessful, us, and unsuccessful. So now I'm actually going to use the Jinja templating. So what we can do is, whenever the login is unsuccessful, it is going to present the unsuccessful message right above your like in the page itself, okay. So you will come to know, you will just see this thing. And now here I'll create a Jinja, and I'll say if, okay, if us, which is the variable I am passing while the rendering, which holds the string unsuccessful, okay. So over here, and always remember to end your loop, and inside this I'll just paste, I'm sorry, us. So us is the name of my variable unsuccessful, and it is going to show whenever you enter the wrong credentials. Now let's just test this thing, and I'm entering the wrong credential, and it says please check your credentials. You have it. And now whenever I enter the right credentials, it is going to say login successful. Okay, now this page actually really sucks, and I'm not good with the front end, but still I will now try to use Bootstrap and try to improve this thing. We have already, I think, passed 30 minutes, but it's fine. I'll just fast forward this thing. Okay, so I've actually did nothing extremely fancy. Okay, but what I've done is I've included the CDN, which are known as the command driven links. I forgot the I'm sorry, I forgot. But these are the CDNs of the bootstrap. Okay, and then I've actually selected a template, the ready-made example templates, and I've used this. You can just copy this and you will actually get this code in the description box. It will be uploaded onto my GitHub repository. You can just download and play with it, and everything is same. Now let us just first of all check, and we'll now make changes. Yeah, this actually looks good as compared to that one. So this is my email, and now let me enter password, and I got the bad request. Yeah. Oh god, finally we have it. I had to debug it. Okay, and now if I enter my right password, it says login successful. If I enter the wrong password, it says please check your credentials. Now actually we will try to improve the experience. This is tedious, definitely tedious. Where I actually lagged was here the name. Okay, actually first of all pass the input email and input password, but it actually I think clashed with the ID, and it created some issues. Let me just check this. We have it input email, and yeah, everything now seems fine. Now here I'll actually try to enter Jinja. So what we can do is let me just get rid of this, and now I'll say, now first of all let me make one more variable which is going to be successful, and it says login successful. So now we will actually try something. Okay, this is everything of this is experimental. Okay, I am just experimenting. If you want to try doing it, just do it for yourself, do it the way you want. You can do anything. It is actually fun. Once you get your hands over the bootstrap and Flask, you will actually enjoy, because it also looks good, and you will have a kind of good looking site. That is the main goal of the bootstrap. I'll say render template, and I'll say new.html and s for successful. Okay, that this variable s, okay, and successful, it is actually user defined. You can do anything you want. And now let me just enter it over here. So in my container I'll say div, and what was the class? I remember, yeah, alert, because that's the class name, alert, and I'll say success. And in here I'll say, now here I'll put my Jinja script. I'll say if s, which is the referenced variable which will be passed into the Jinja while rendering the template, and if, and here I'll say s. Okay, so if the login is successful, it is going to represent it over here itself. Yeah, let me check this thing. I hope this runs. Oh boy, this is going to keep showing. I have to get this sorted. Alert. Let me just make a little bit of change over here. What I'll do is let's say if s and if, and yeah, now let me just try this out. Class alert, and success, and in here we will have s. Let me just check this thing. Yeah, we have it. Yeah, it's a login successful, and it comes into your success bar, okay, which is green. You saw that? So what it actually did was, let me just get this a little bit good looking. I actually made a mistake. I gave the alert box, and it was not in the Jinja. Jinja actually allows you to, give the Python programming or the functionality of the scripting language into your HTML. Right. Now, in the same manner, what we will do is we will actually also, make this one render template, and then new.html and us for unsuccessful and unsuccessful, okay, which will be going to say please check your credentials. Alright, and now uh, let me just copy this thing and I'll just make the changes. Okay, there we have it. And now us for unsuccessful, and in the alert I will say danger. So these are the classes of the bootstrap, huh? Just keep that in mind. Just save this. I hope this runs. I'll restart, reload. And now first of all, let me just log in. It is login successful. Okay, I embedded this into an h2 tag. H2, it actually made it bigger so that you can see it. And now I will enter a wrong email, wrong credentials, and it is going to say please check your credentials. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. You might have got a little bit of idea about how the Firebase works and how you can actually use it with the Flask. And if you don't know Flask, you please learn the Flask. It is good. Okay, if you are good with Python programming, I would definitely recommend you to learn the Flask. And I have a Flask playlist. I'll definitely put the Flask playlist into my description below. You will also get GitHub repository link in the description below, where you can get this code. You can experiment for yourself, and it is going to be good. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.